What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. They say that a word to the wise is sufficient. I'm not trying to say I'm wise, but I hope that the words I will say will help to make somebody a little wiser. The music business to some people is this extravagant, glamorous lifestyle where everybody's got a lot of money. Everybody's living lavish in nice homes and driving nice cars and famous, and just all these things are going on, and everybody just has this great existence. But the reality can be far from that. A lot of artists, even some of the ones that we may look at and see on TV all the time, you might hear them on the radio all the time. They're very visible in magazines and publications and social media and TV shows, movies, whatever the case might be. A lot of them are struggling on higher levels. A lot of artists are really on the struggle bus, and it's not just the underground. People will instantly say, well, yeah, you talking about those underground independent dudes trying to get it out the mud. Nah, I'm talking about the ones I just mentioned, the ones that are highly visible, and that would be many with label stars or even superstars. They are not always doing as well as you might think they're doing, or you might think that they should be doing. And even with gold and platinum releases, the way that the industry works, just because you sold millions and millions of units throughout your career, just because you've done a lot of shows throughout your career, doesn't necessarily mean that what you've generated is what you collect. What you generate and what you collect in this industry is not ever the same thing. And the reason why I'm going to this is because I was reading a story where I was looking at a story where a female artist from one of the most popular groups in the 90s just came public and said that she's been homeless for 3 years and living out of her car. Now, I'm old enough to remember this group because I'm old enough to remember this group. And when I tell y'all that this was one of the hottest, most popular groups in the decade of the 90s, with hit after hit after hit everywhere you looked up, national tours, I would assume international tours, but I don't know, but they were everywhere. They could run off a concert full of hits like it ain't nothing. Trust and believe. So with all of that success and all of the units sold, you know, on the outside looking in, you would automatically assume, oh, well, they should be doing all right. She should be doing all right. And I don't know the circumstances that put her in the position that she's in, but what I do know is that even the big name artists, in a lot of cases, they fall under the category of what we call starving artists. It's not what y'all think it is, man. It's just not. And we can look at certain people where you say, well, man, sometimes, man, them people make money and they get negligent with their money, man. They get on drugs. They want to ball out with the money, and then they just blow their own money, so that's their fault. Yeah, and that does happen. That happens to people who don't hardly make a lot of money. You know, they get a little bit and they start going. But I'm not speaking about them in this case. I'm speaking about those who have done everything that they're supposed to do. They're not being negligent or stupid with their money. And it's just the fact that the way the game is set up to where you're never going to get what you deserve or what you're supposed to get, and more importantly, what you earn. So, unfortunately, she is not the first type of story that we've heard like this. If we just really dig, we can find many artists, greats. I mean, some of our all-time greats. And you would be shocked at what ended up happening to them, or the conditions that they may currently be in or ended up being in. And the scary part is when we look at some of the current artists who are on top now, and just living long enough, you kind of know that somebody else is going to be in that position one day. Somebody that's nowhere close to being in that position right now is going to be in that position one day. So we can go into the how it happened, and that, man, look, man, music business money, man, it dries up. Some of these, no matter how big you are, some of these artists, the records ain't selling no more. They get dropped from labels. You could actually make bad decisions, not negligent decisions, but you're trying to do right. You're trying to make your money work for you. You may invest in the wrong thing. There's so many ways that this could go, but I want y'all to know that the music industry is a corrupt industry, starting from the top and working its way down, and the higher up, the more corrupt. Y'all don't steal that. The higher up, the more corrupt, because they are the ones that are holding all the cards. They are the ones who give the deals and put you in position, and in turn, they call the shots in terms of the payout percentages, which if we get into that, we'll be all night. So our downfall sometimes can be the fault of us, but in these cases, man, this thing is structured and systematically designed to never let an artist be on the same level as those who distribute or put the stuff out. So again, like I said in the beginning, a word to the wise is sufficient. If you're in this industry, don't be foolish with whatever little money that you do get. Do the best you can to live in a way that's not outside of what you generate, outside of what you collect. What you collect, and it still don't guarantee nothing, but it gives you a better shot. And don't be fooled by what you see on TV and what you see in videos, and that gives you the impression that that's the life, boy. They living the life, because you're looking at cats on TV bouncing around with rented jewelry on, standing next to cars that do not belong to them, that belong to the CEO, or they brought them in, the cars are rented for the video, and they throwing up the little movie entertainment dollars, the $100 bills that you see in the movies and all that. I mean, come on, man. Don't be fooled by that. Get rooted and grounded in a solid foundation of knowledge and understanding of how this thing works and how it can best work for you, and never become so full of yourself and never become so delusional that even if you are on top, even if you are an artist that's doing all right, don't be foolish enough to think that the well can't run dry, and in a blink of an eye, or over a course of time, your situation can't do a 180, and you'll find yourself on the outs, or homeless, or struggling, man. So God bless that sister, because like I said, I'm very familiar with her and her group, and I wish her the best. And she proudly stood with no shame to tell her story, but that don't make me want to see that one way or the other. So, all right, man, it's your big brother K-Rino. I will catch y'all later on. Peace.